And another big story this week has been Liz Truss going on an £18,000 trip to Hawaii with her husband to visit the Pacific Forum, which I have to say, I've been in frontline politics for maybe 12, 14 years. I've never heard of the Pacific Forum, Kevin. But if you do want to speak at a Honolulu-based think tank, that seems to be the place to do it.
Absolutely. No, it's nice work if you can get it. Like you, Ruth, I'd never heard of the Pacific Forum either, but it sounds like a pretty well-funded outfit if it can afford to offer Liz Truss and her husband a £18,000 all expenses paid trip to Honolulu. So yeah, I mean, it is extraordinary again to ordinary members of the public who will see this and be absolutely aghast that this is possible. And obviously, being a former Prime Minister, even one who was only in office for 7 weeks, it just shows that you're still in demand. You know, you have that on your CV and you are instantly what you say has extra weight attached to it. Now, this is probably why a lot of former PMs very quickly depart Parliament, so they can go off and do things like that and no one ever knows about it because they don't have to put it in a register of interests or anything like that. So, but we know that Liz Truss apparently wants to hang around in Parliament. I think she still thinks that there's a frontline career for her somewhere in politics. So I think we're probably going to have to get used to seeing this type of thing. But, you know, in the middle of a cost of living crisis, when people are struggling, they're seeing their bills going up, it does stick in the throat a little bit that someone whose career in Number 10 ended ignominiously is, it would appear, living quite comfortably, thank you very much, paid for by wealthy supporters.
The one thing that I can't get, Catriona, is I can't work out whether Liz Truss is kind of biding her time because she sees herself having some kind of regeneration and coming back as a big influential figure, you know, perhaps a future foreign secretary type thing, going back to the FCO, or whether she's doing the, right, I'm on the backbenches, I'm going to do the speeches and beaches thing and going to enjoy myself. Because you can kind of do one or you can do the other. It's very unusual for anybody to be able to do both. And I think you possibly have to have a sounder body of work than Liz Truss to even attempt to get away with it.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think Liz Truss perhaps isn't thoughtful enough to kind of parse through that in the way that you've done there, Ruth. I think she's just having a nice time and she's hanging around. I think she feels like she was probably quite hard done by with her very short premiership, and so she doesn't feel like she should be having to step back. And you see that with her trying to carve out her space on the backbenches as a dedicated tax cutter. But, you know, for Rishi Sunak, it's just a constant headache for him that she's hanging around. She's reminding everybody of that very chaotic and problematic period of the Conservative government's tenure. And he probably doesn't want her to do beaches or speeches and just vanish, but she is hanging about. And, you know, I'm sort of torn between what Kevin says about nice work if you can get it, and Hawaii is just not quite far enough.